I am so excited today to premiere for you a new series from CSTE titled The Strength Within. For a while now, we've wanted to spotlight stories from epidemiology, particularly because they really haven't been told over the last couple of years. We've seen features of undeniably amazing work from doctors, nurses, vaccine scientists, but it always felt like the applied epi experience was getting lost along the way. I mean, sure, everyone knew the term epidemiology just a few months into 2020. But what I think was striking is how there wasn't this connection to the people behind the work and how vital they were. Which is why I am thrilled today to share this interview with Hanna Shephard. Hanna was actually in grad school when COVID was first unfolding, so her experience is both remarkable and maybe sounds a little familiar. I caught up with her at the CSTE conference in June, where we talked about that experience of walking right into a defining moment of your field, and how that shaped her young career already.
My name is Hanna Shephard. I'm a maternal and child health COVID-19 epidemiologist with the Massachusetts Department of Public Health and a former CSTE Applied Epidemiology Fellow graduating class of 18, where I also worked at the Massachusetts Department of Public Health as a birth defects and neonatal abstinence syndrome fellow. But I really worked on COVID-19 surveillance among pregnant people during that fellowship. That project really defined my fellowship experience. So this surveillance contributes to a larger CDC-funded project called the Surveillance for Emerging Threats to Mothers and Babies Network, or CETNet, which is a mother-baby linked longitudinal surveillance system that follows pregnant people with an infection of interest and their infants. And so we had set up CETNet in Massachusetts during the Zika virus outbreak before my time. And then when I came to the Department of Public Health, thinking that I would be doing birth defects and neonatal abstinence syndrome, we were also starting to adapt the CETNet for Zika to respond to COVID-19. And I was sort of given the opportunity to help work on that project, and I ended up kind of taking it over and standing up the surveillance system myself. So it started before my time, but I was really integrated very quickly and took ownership of it kind of from the get-go of my fellowship.
So, although COVID has become her focus now, Hanna actually started her degree pre-pandemic. We spoke about that shift, about learning and then graduating when public health itself was in such disarray. What did that feel like being in classes with, your fellow students and this, being a seminal moment in public health history?
Yeah, I was actually taking an infectious disease epidemiology class in my final semester of grad school, so that was spring of 2020, and it was really, I think, helpful to have the insight of my peers and my professor to kind of help me make sense of what was going on in the world as we were reading about the history of infectious diseases historically, and then this current moment. And I think that I felt like I wanted to just be in the field. I felt frustrated that I was still in the classroom, but I was also really eager to get started, and I had already decided on the fellowship and knew that I was going to be working at a health department, knew that I was going to be sort of on the front lines of this work, and I was really excited to get started. Some strategies that I've used to help combat burnout have just been really finding people who have shared experiences, finding spaces where we can talk as peers about and learn from each other about what's affecting us, and just find people who encourage you to take care of yourself and hold you accountable. I have amazing peers and mentors who really help lighten my load. And as someone who's especially green, I think finding people who have been fighting the fight for a lot longer and learning lessons from them has been really helpful.
Did you get that from your mentor? So who was your mentor?
So I have two mentors, Masa Yazdi, who is the director of the Center for Birth Defects at the Massachusetts Department of Public Health, and then Susan Manning, who's a CDC maternal and child health program assignee to the Department of Public Health. they're both mothers. They're both incredibly nurturing. And I think that they really encouraged me to grow my personhood outside of work, which made me a better epidemiologist because I was able to really think about my values and what mattered to me. And I think I grew just as much as a person as I did as an epidemiologist with them, just by seeing how they live out their values in their lives.
For her efforts, Hanna won CSTE's Hillary B. Folks Memorial Award last year. But if this interview is any indication, she's just getting started making an impact.